Double O.
Champion.
What's up, brother?
Hey, beautiful Monday morning, yo.
Top of the morning to you, sir.
Woof, woof.
Oh man, what a Monday it is, man. Let's see here, man. Let's make sure we're live. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. Make sure that we have our act together. Shoo. Talk to me, man. What's going on in the space this morning for you, man? Anything strikes your interest?
Oh man, a lot. There is a conversation about Congress, or is there like an organization over there with the Congress trying to figure out if Bitcoin is really energy efficient. There's also the conversation about a bunch of these big banks getting into the space. Some of them quietly, some of them making some noise, like we in here now. And then, of course, while we were basically surfing over the interweb, we found our boys, gentlemen of crypto.
Yes. I saw that interview.
Great interview too. I liked it.
Did there, man. Dude, actually, we'll share some of that. Actually, let's discuss that one. I want to discuss that one. Okay. Out of the many topics that we have, because I thought that was interesting, right? Which, by the way, good morning, crypto warriors. Good morning, STAKK Nation. We are back again, man. Beautiful Monday morning. I have to say, okay. The other day I kind of came to this realization. When we do this show in the morning, okay, as of this moment, there is a specific group of people that are always with us all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I think, hey, man, I want to connect, recognize the people that wake up every Monday morning with us and listen to us ramble. Yeah, it's incredible. All right, let's see here. Let's see if anyone is joining us online yet. Oh, no. I am screwing that one up now.
Thank you. Well, in the meantime, though, if you haven't liked and subscribed to the Gentlemen of Crypto or to the STAKK channel, go ahead and do that.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. So I'm going to share my screen here and let's jump into this thing, because I think this is something. I mean, first of all, this mission is the AFROPOLITAN setup, if you will, right? And incredible stuff that they're setting up here. But of course, we always have questions about everything, and I hope that what they're working on is very successful. So let's share a little bit of this, and then we'll discuss it here in a little bit. Let's see, share screen. Double O. Listen, man, I think there are times when you realize that you're just getting so great at what you do. Okay, you see skill level just matching up the grid. It's freaking incredible, right? Anyway, let's check out this video here.
And it will be amazing to look back, 100 years from now and say, hey, this was when we first started digital countries online, and I commend you for that. And why is it important for citizens of the African diaspora to be involved in Web3 and crypto? Because you do get some pushback. Some people don't understand it, but why should they take it extremely serious and get into the space currently now?
Yeah, so I'm going to give two very specific examples. One, as someone who lives on the continent of Africa, I'm Nigerian. I'm Nigerian American. And I even spent about 7 years in Nigeria. And I can tell you that when I moved back to Nigeria, the Naira was 160. Today, the Naira is 680. So you can imagine even if I was hardworking and saving my Naira monthly, I actually lost so much money just due to inflation and just due to governance, right? And so that is the reason why Nigeria is the third largest crypto adopter globally, because the governments are failing us and we are.
That is something we can all agree on.
Yes, sir.
Right. By the way, that was Chika Uwaze. Is that how you're Nigerian?
Don't
How do you guys pronounce it?
I don't know.
What? Bro, listen, man. Sometimes I feel like I'm more Nigerian than some Nigerians, man. As you know, the Nigerians have claimed me, and I just, I accept it. Where I was born is close enough to Nigeria, so it is what it is.
Hey, they just call it Nigeria because the British amalgamated it to be called Nigeria, man.
Hey, I will say though, Nigerians have been in my life all along, ever since in Cameroon when I was in boarding school.
There you go.
My best friend was Nigerian. His name was Eze. Look at that.
Eze.
So that was Chika Uwaze, co-founder of Afropolitan, and that was a pretty cool interview on CoinDesk TV by Bitcoin Zay, right? Incredible work. He asked some really good questions as well.
I would go ahead and put the link if people want to watch it on the chat so that people can have it. Definitely. It's a really good interview, though. If you haven't seen it, you gotta see it.
You know, it seems the mission they're on there is creating a digital nation, right?
A whole new country, man. Can you imagine
absolutely.
that?
Absolutely. An Afro digital nation. And from how I understand it, right? And look, man, I just want to gradually walk through it and see how, you know, and obviously it's a short interview. They probably did not explain everything. So we also went onto the website just to make sure that, you know, we're not kind of just, you know.
Wait a second. Are we having a digital nation on the Mars? Are we going to planet Mars? Because that look like Mars to me.
It looks like a red planet. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. And I mean, it looks nice. I like cool graphics like that are spinning and things like that. But anyway, we took a look at it, right? And you see, they're setting up this, working on setting up this digital nation, right? Which should provide more opportunities for Black people overall, right? Because you can see that across the globe, right, when it comes to the Black people, it's not necessarily been equal playing fields with everyone else. I mean, you can see that the exploitation of Africa itself is a thing, and it's a very serious thing. And there's definitely serious issues that need to be handled right away. So they have a 4-phase plan, right? Going from building the network, creating an NFT, right? I'm thinking the NFT is also to help with the raising of funds there. Yep. Providing various resources, right? Whether it's from a cultural standpoint, talent standpoint, and other things like that.
Yeah, maybe when I look at those resources, I look at how maybe Black people in India or maybe Black people in other parts of the world, like recently Ukraine, where the African nations were not able to come and rescue them. But then as this digital country, you can now put your resources together to help Black issues around the world. I think that's really cool idea.
Absolutely. I think that is pretty cool. Just the fact that they're doing it is amazing. So then, of course, there's going to be an Afropolitan super app. And I think that one of the interesting things about this one was the remittance issue that they're trying to take on as well, right? Which is great. Then we also have this minimum viable state, which is about preparing for a transition from a digital to virtual environment, if you will. Our goal is to build a legitimacy through state capacity. There's a lot of things I have to ask about this, and of course physical locations as well, a foundation where people can go in and maybe access those resources and things like that. These are all, I think that these are all positive, but there's definitely a lot of questions that I would have with something like this. But before I go into that, what are your thoughts?
Well, the fact that this interview happened it's a big thing, right? You know, having us on a major news channel like CoinDesk, which a lot of times when we talk about Bitcoin and the crypto space, you don't see a lot of Black representation. So not only are you seeing Black representation, you're also seeing Black solution, Black objective to solve Black problems. So one of the biggest things that I see here is that instead of just living with the current system, which is the current challenge that we're all facing, you say, you know what, you can't fix the current system. You create a system out of it and hopefully have people adopt that new system. Kind of like what Bitcoin has done, which is basically having this virtual country, virtual nation where all Black people can go to, not hopefully go and always have problems solved, but create a new space where you can be joyous, find jobs, connect digitally around the world, and hopefully solve the current problems of today. That's a really big undertaking, but I do really wish them well, and hopefully we can contribute to that in any way we can.
Absolutely.
So those are my thoughts about it.
Hey, we have Trade Trillionaire in the house. What's up, my diasporan family? Hey, what's up, Trade Trillionaire? Are you feeling today, champion? Right? We also have some, let's see here. Oh, no, those are comments from you.
Yeah. That was me just putting the link up there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so here's what I think of this. I think that it is incredible that they're doing this. It is a beautiful thing to see. At the same time, I also ask myself, given the many issues that we know are present in Africa, right, which is very much listed on their website as well, poverty, exploitation, and everything else like that. We know that Bitcoin is something that can solve a lot of these problems that we're having right now, right? And so as they do this, is implementing Bitcoin as a means of exchange, something that they're into. That's something I would like to know more about. And I'm going to go back on the website and look at more even after this. Because we know this as well is a 10-year or lifelong project.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to know why they may have not, or if they are not considering Bitcoin as a viable option to facilitate that process. Because right now we know that when it comes to things like remittances, and you also use Ukraine as an example in there, right?
Yeah.
In a situation like that, which is a situation that African nations have been facing for a very long time, right? It happened that it happened in Ukraine, which got a lot of publicity.
Yeah, they got about $54 million, and it's used most of it for buying
exactly.
UAVs. Yeah.
So and these situations have been happening in Africa as well. So I think it would be good to be able to use Bitcoin in the same way, right, to grow or at least to resolve the remittance issues which we have in Africa, the money problem which we have in Africa, inflation, as she mentioned there in that interview, talking about the Naira rising. And we know that Nigeria is very open to crypto, third largest adoption nation, right?
Yeah.
So it's absolutely incredible. And I think that they're in a position where they can make a massive impact. I would just question or would like to know more as to why Bitcoin is not a major piece of this. Or at least
I mean, we can bring them on the show, and maybe we can enlighten them if they do not know. But I will assume someone like her probably knows. Maybe it's an internal strategy that they have not released out yet. They've raised $2 million already, which is a lot of money. And at this point, I think it might be a multi-blockchain strategy. From what I read from the video and what I read on the website, is that you could use these blockchains for multiple things, right? So maybe your transactions should be based off of Bitcoin, because that's the most decentralized. The biggest money issue that Africa needs to solve is money. So they solve the money problem. Actually, just not Africa. Africans in the diaspora. Africans everywhere. We've just been behind on the money curveball. So they could use that to solve the problem. Maybe they can now use the NFTs, which still has a lot of issues. There's the issues that we've been reading lately about, the Solana NFT situations and
ownership of NFTs.
Ownership of true ownership. So you could use the NFT as a digital passport. I could see where they're going with that, and have that do that technology, but we have to fix the problem in that space as well. So there might be different blockchains for different use. So it could be a nation, a digital nation that utilizes the entire blockchain, but then uses Bitcoin as its monetary means of exchange. Because when you have a nation like this that is digital globally, you're going to need to transact. And the best means of transaction that we know of right now is Bitcoin.
Absolutely. Let's look at some comments. We have Trade Trillionaire says, "I'm doing fine, my brothers. Glad to see us represented in the blockchain space." This is true. I think it's definitely been something that I noticed, right? Is that hopefully Black people can take this tech to the next level. Absolutely, man. I think really the biggest thing is for us to just be have equal access, equal coverage in the space, and not be ignored, right? Because we see things like this happen a lot, especially on Twitter, as you know. But that is something that I'm trying to refrain from that conversation, because there's been some incidents on Twitter. I've had some run-ins with some people on Twitter where I had to let them know how I felt about their behaviors. It is what it is. Virgo El Unico says, "Good morning. Good morning, champion." Right. Let's see. A bit more volume. I think, are we low? or maybe it was on the
Hulu?
video. But I ended up turning up the volume on the. Sorry, guys, the comments are a little bit delayed from when things really happened, but I did turn up the volume on the video nonetheless. So I hope that was okay. Yeah. We're gonna run back to the beginning of the show again and play at 1.5. Be right back.
Speed up, catch up.
Look at that, man. That guy said, "We'll wait for you."
That guy's
sir.
smart, man.
We'll wait for you. We'll wait for you. We'll press pause. All right, but hey, I think that this is incredible. Yeah, definitely, I would like to know more about the Bitcoin side of this, because in like with what we're trying to do as well, right? When it comes to remittances, I think that there's a lot of things that we can do right away. The currency situation as well, right? When we talk about creating a new nation state, right? So many questions. What space would you be physically occupying, right? When you talk about creating a new nation state and people collectively deciding to be part of that new society, right? Yeah. I think it's the same principles that apply to Bitcoin. We all have to collectively decide to use Bitcoin as our means of exchange, as our money, if you will. Because once you do that, then you're able to essentially get away from the traditional system, right?
Detach. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's a peaceful revolution. You don't have to battle anyone. So
you don't have to do China and Taiwan.
Right, you don't have to do China and Taiwan.
I own you for the suckers.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll blow you up if you don't listen to me.
Exactly. You can choose to just opt out of the system and operate on the Bitcoin network. And I think that the governments will be forced to follow and participate in that way and stick to the rules of the network as well. Because at some point, we cannot keep blaming the banks and the governments and things like that. Mm-hmm. This is what I mean. There is this saying that, the sun is going to do what it's going to do. Whether it's rain, sun, or whatever the case might be, the sun will always rise. Mm-hmm. Bankers and governments and people like that who are in power and have a lot of money are always going to be doing what they want to do to accumulate more and more. So I think it's up to us as a people to be like the sun, right? And just move in the direction that is more beneficial to us. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's good you said that, because I will share a quick screen on exactly that, which is we should not be sleeping on this fact right now. Here's the fact. The banks are sneaking into the space. You might see all the biggest fraud on the news right now about crypto is dead. But in the meantime, if you're paying attention, the big banks, Bancorp, Deutsche Bank, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, you just recently had about BlackRock, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, these guys are here in this space taking over. And they basically sending out a bunch of fraud to make you guys sell your crypto. And you know what they're doing? They want to hold your crypto for you. They want to hold your Bitcoin for you. And then, guess what? Loan it back to you. Same thing the banks have always done. Take a bunch of people's money, loan it back. Now you're in debt. Instead of you holding the coin. So what the Metropolitan folks are doing, it's major. But we need to keep spreading that news that you want to hold your Bitcoin. You want to personally hold it. Take it off the exchanges. Otherwise, they'll just take your coin and loan it out. Next thing you know, you're in debt.
Yeah,
that's been the way the banks have always worked.
Absolutely. Definitely something to. I think it's definitely something to emphasize and for people to just educate themselves, which is the toughest part, man. You would think it's super easy to just be like, hey, this is what Bitcoin is. But I know people that have spoken about Bitcoin, I've spoken with them about Bitcoin so many times and they still don't get it, right? But let's look at some comments as we go here. Good morning to Virgo El Unico. We already said good morning there. Let's see. Marcus Walter. Africa will be using eCash XEC as a use case. eCash XEC. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, is that not the Moreno guys? I have to go back and look at it.
Moreno? No, I don't know which one that is. I have to look at that one. Definitely. We'll look at that and come back to you, sir.
Marcus, will check that out, man. We're not paying attention to all the entire space. There's just so many monies out there.
Exactly. Love from Biafra land, says Goodness Uche. Love to you too, sir.
Goodness needs to go check out that project for sure. You know,
He
you,
says
you can go put your Biafra land in that space.
Yeah, he says people find it difficult in Biafra land to understand custodying their Bitcoin. Sir, hit us up, man. We would explain it to you. Well, he probably knows how it is, and we can work on something to figure out how we can get that education out to people.
Yeah. Get the
We'll
knowledge
do a
out
Zoom
there.
with you. Let us know if you want to do that. I'll put my email in the chat here. Just let me know, and we can work on something. Maybe we can share the content that we have put together with you, and you can use it to teach people more about Bitcoin. Right. There we go. I'm going to do info@stackfin.com. Go ahead, Kenny.
Yeah. So the money continues to be the biggest issue, bro. It's the biggest issue right now with the oil inflation. The moment the Federal Reserve starts screaming about, oh, we're not done increasing interest rates yet, whereas your dollar is currently being depreciated, everything just start crashing. So until we fix the money problem, I think we're gonna have issues left and right. Money is the problem with China and Taiwan. Money is the problem with Russia and Ukraine. Money is the problem where blacks in America are still struggling till today because we don't have access to a bunch of stuff. But we can't keep using that as an excuse. So there are people out there working to solve the problem. We intend to solve the problem our own way as well. We have some internal projects that we're working on. And it's glad to see that interview with Bitcoin Zay and the what's the name again? I can't remember her name already.
I think
the interview we just watched.
Let me not slaughter it, but I know the name, but I don't want to slaughter it because I haven't.
It's good to see that black folks are out there trying to solve these problems. So yeah, if you're out there trying to solve the problem and you want to be on the show, definitely hit us up. Hit up just hit us up, and we'll be glad to talk about it and spread the word.
Yes, it's Chika.
Yeah.
Chika Uwazi. There we go.
Uwazi.
Right.
Yeah.
Co-founder of AFROPOLITAN. Incredible. ATL checking in. What's up, champion? How you feeling today, man? It's a beautiful thing. Well, fix the money, fix the problems, man. Essentially, it's what it seems it comes down to, Double O. I like that. I have nothing else to add to that. We're also out of time. We gotta make the show longer, man. Let's talk to the gentleman of crypto, man, and see if we can stretch this thing out. It'd be beautiful.
Yeah, for sure.
Until next time, crypto fam. Okay, brazen out.
This one that's go Wakanda forever.
Is that Wakanda forever? Hey, it seems like an appropriate moment for Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. We out.
Peace.
Alrighty.